Welcome to Travel Taste, the show that explores the world's most delightful destinations. This week we're diving into geopolitical tension and asking, where can you, my dear British citizen, stick your passport, buckle up, grab your biscuits, and let's embark on this fascinating journey to 10 countries British citizens should avoid. First up, we have North Korea, a country that makes Fort Knox look like a free-for-all bouncy castle. Ruled by a dynasty that makes the Kardashians look camera-shy, North Korea has little interest in welcoming British tourists. Visiting North Korea is like reasoning with a pigeon over a chip, messy and pointless. Do you really want to risk a diplomatic standoff? That's less gap year and more gap decade. Next, we have Iran, a nation with a rich history and beautiful architecture. The government isn't too fond of the UK. British citizens need a visa to visit Iran, but the approval process is unpredictable. If you get a visa, expect intense government scrutiny. Our next stop is Syria, a country ravaged by civil war for over a decade. The UK government advises against all travel to Syria. Like your mum warning you about the stove tempting, but the consequences aren't worth the risk. Afghanistan has experienced more turmoil than a British Airways baggage claim during a heat wave. Since the Taliban took control in 2021, it's a no-go zone for most Westerners. The security situation is volatile, with a real risk of kidnapping or worse. Our next non-destination is Yemen. This war-torn nation has been in a brutal civil war for years. For a relaxing beach holiday, try Brighton instead. Next, we venture into the fractured state of Libya, struggling to rebuild since the fall of Gaddafi in 2011. With rival governments vying for control and militias roaming the streets, Libya is like a game of geopolitical Jenga. One wrong move and it could all crash down. The UK advises against all travel to the country. Our journey takes us to Somalia, synonymous with piracy, terrorism and instability. The UK government advises against all travel to Somalia. It's like playing Russian roulette. The odds of walking away unscathed are slim. Our penultimate stop is South Sudan, grappling with a brutal civil war's aftermath. Despite independence in 2011, South Sudan faces violence, poverty, and a severe humanitarian crisis. The UK advises against all travel due to high kidnapping risk, armed conflict, and lack of basic infrastructure. Now, it's time to address the elephant in the room, or should I say the bear wearing a Sternushanka hat, Russia. Following the military operation in Ukraine, relations between the UK and Russia are as frosty as a Siberian winter. The UK government advises against travel to Russia. And finally, we arrive at Belarus, Russia's unpredictable little brother. As a staunch ally of Russia, Belarus has restricted citizens from countries criticizing Russia. The UK advises against all but essential travel to Belarus. So, there you have it, 10 countries that British citizens should probably avoid like a dodgy kebab after a night out. Now, I realise this might seem a bit doom and gloom, but don't despair. There are still hundreds of other countries that would love to welcome you. The world is vast and wondrous, and exploring it is one of life's greatest joys. So be smart, be safe, and most importantly, have fun out there. Just maybe not in these 10 places.